Hi, we're back.
We're back.
It's Tuesday. Yay! Thank you, Suzy, for your time and for coming as usual.
I love being with you.
I love being with you too. You're so fun.
Yes.
Even your two-dimensional illustration of you is fun.
That's
Fun.
Who do I have to thank for that?
You have Drew to thank for that.
Oh, thank you, Drew.
He did an amazing job with our two-dimensional illustrations of us.
That's great.
That's wonderful. So today we're going to talk about, again, something fun. And what we're talking about today is applying a lot of the technologies that we talked about in the platform to an actual real life use case. And,
Good.
And it's the dreaded goal tracking and personnel evaluations.
Oh, one of those.
It's one of those things.
We all so look forward to those.
Yes, because we love receiving either a paper form that you have to fill out or like a Word document or a PDF that's horrible. And it's just no. And then going through 6 lateral file cabinets of personnel information.
And it only happens once a year.
And it's only once a year and everybody forgets. And then you have to sit there and talk about it.
And you don't remember.
You don't remember what happened. And you never documented your goals. And then it was like, oh, that's a stupid goal because you were still in the New Year's high. And
Right.
No. So,
are you telling me there's a different system?
well, you can do whatever you want. And there's
Yes.
lots of very high priced systems and platforms and apps out there. And why?
Oh, what a good question.
That's a great question. Why? So this is directly applicable to us. And I'm going to show you how we did it today.
Awesome.
So we'll get started.
Okay.
And we'll go back up to here. So we have a whole section in our teams called HR, and it's a channel within our main JCMA team.
Okay.
And so everything personnel related, we put in the HR channel. Insurance information, company values, things about if we've had presentations about hey, your benefits are changing to this, or insurance is happening to that. Or we also use the posts to put the company-wide announcements hey, it's 4th of July, don't blow your fingers off and have a safe holiday. And it's time, like this one here, but the one we're talking about is it's time for yearly evaluations. And every year we've done it a little differently. The first year, because we were getting started, it was still like a paper fill-in form, which, I died a little bit inside. Then the next year we started using Microsoft Forms. That's where you can make your own fill-in forms.
Right.
So we used it for that year. And then what we did is we took the automation with Power Automate, and we took the answers that they filled in and then moved them into lists. And then we could look at it and then put in our comments and all that. And it was fine. But the one problem with it was once you fill out the form and hit submit, that's it. That's the time you can put your answers and put in your thoughts. And then you have to go to a different place to say, oh, I want to make some edits, or I want to amend something, or I want to add more details. So then it was okay, the experience is the best because you're doing it in 2 different places. So we don't like that. So that went away.
Good.
Yeah, that went away. So this year, everything is in Teams. The whole thing all sits in Teams this year.
Awesome.
So at the top, we've got 3 tabs. Well, first there's the company values tab.
Okay.
And all that is that's just a nice, so under the hood here, this is SharePoint, right? And SharePoint lets you make these very immersive and very nicely designed web pages. And all it is you just we talked about this a little bit last week. You just drop sections onto the page, and it could be text, it could be call outs, it could be just images, whatever. So what we did is we just made a very simple page that's our company values. And it's
sweet.
So everyone can view that anytime they want.
Just to be reminded.
just to be reminded, sure. Then we have the tab up here called PDP. And PDP is their professional development plan. So what it does, so this is blank because it's filtered by the user logged in right now.
Got it.
And for the current year, I have not put mine in yet. So that's why it's blank. But
Okay.
we're going to go back in time to the previous years. So
Okay.
I had 2 goals in 2021. 1, become a Microsoft MVP, which is still my goal. And 2, film videos with Suzy Vance. That's you.
Nice. I'm glad I made the list.
So throughout the year, when everybody, so back in 2020, and the very beginning of 2021, we told everyone, hey, it's time to do your next goals for the year. And then you could either carry them over or it's new, whatever.
Right.
So throughout the year, so we have this nicely formatted form here. But then during the year, what we do, so every month we have a meeting with everybody, Sean and me, individually. And we use the comment feature of lists to basically write comments of what did we talk about every month we met. And so we have this nice little conversation chain
So
here.
You don't forget.
Right. So
Oh my God.
we type in the highlights here of what happened throughout the year. So they're there forever when you want to go back and look.
Remind yourself.
Little reminders and little bits of note taking, but just simple, you don't want
Little
to
attaboys. Could we fix this?
Yes, or hey, we're gonna pivot a little bit. So throughout the year there's all these comments and the comments stay with the list item forever. They're there forever. So you can go back a year from now and say, okay, how did this progress? Or what did we talk about those few months ago? Whatever.
Or 30 years from now, you can go back and write your memoir.
Well, hopefully by then that'll be a chip in our brain. And then we just stare off to the side and oh yeah, that's what we talked about. And that's it. So the most important part though of this goal is the actual goal name and the year. The year of that. This was one of my 2021 goals, right?
Okay.
So then now it's self-evaluation time, and it's active. We're between now and the 15th is okay. Do your self-evaluation. It's Sean and me included, us included. So when you go to self-evaluation, so you see here, I have one that I did, as a test before. So so what I'm going to do, just really quickly, I'm going to delete it because it's not needed. So what happens? So what we have everybody do now is they go into so they hit new, and so it knows now because it's the year 2022. It's programmed to go back a year and say, oh, this is for 2021, obviously.
Correct.
So the only thing that they have to do is just put in their name to start everything.
Okay.
So you see it fills in the name.
I see that.
And then you just hit save.
Okay.
Now the reason that we have to do that is 2 reasons. 1, because I couldn't figure out how to automate it yet to do it automatically. But the second is because now this whole series of automations is running as we talk. And what it is, and I'll show that to you. So what it is we've created a flow in Power Automate, which is part of the package, the automation tool that's part of the package. We've created a thing that's watching anytime we add an item to a list into our self-evaluation list. And as soon as the trigger happens where somebody hits save, that goes and says, oh, someone just created an item. So now there's this automation to run. So what it's doing, and this is, again, I'm making this very high level here, but what we did is, so this top line is the trigger. So the trigger is somebody hits save, and it's going to look at the year, and it's going to look at the person's name who saved it, and now it's going to start running automation. So the first one is get the employees' PDP goals from the same year. So it's going to go out to that other list we have called PDP, and it's going to filter that list and say, show me any of the goals that were entered by Joseph Markovich.
Okay.
It's going to then bring that back. So then it's going to do some work here to make it formatted right so that it can go back inside. It can go back in the self-evaluation. So then again, I'm skipping I'm making this very brief, but so it's taking all the goals it finds. And if it doesn't, so we have a limit of, you have 5 professional goals for the year. So what it's doing is it's essentially looping through the goal list and saying, okay, find all of the goals. And now if it's less than 5, it's adding NA until it hits the number 5.
Right.
So that it just puts in a blank, because you don't want a blank set of data.
Right.
It'll like bomb out. So it's doing all that. Then it gets the goals. So there's goal 1, goal 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then now it the evaluation that the employee just started and hit save.
Yes.
Now it's going to go back and update that for them automatically and say, fill in the PDP goals that I just searched for, and then also fill in the company values, because we rate on those too. Then it's the other part of everyone's yearly evaluation is you need to evaluate your boss. How'd your boss do?
Oh, sweet.
So we want to hear that too. So this item right here, which I didn't give it a descriptor, this is creating the user's boss evaluation for them. And then it's ready to go. They don't have to do any data entry of like, put your name in or put the year. It's ready.
They just have to put their comments in.
And then the last item is send email to the employee. So when this automation finishes, that's the trigger that says, okay, you're ready to start entering your thoughts. And then a nice email comes, which I'll show you really fast. Here it is. It just says, hello, Joseph Markovich. It's time to start your self-evaluation and boss evaluation. We filled in your goals and values for you. And then it sends out a nice little email, and then there you go. And then you're ready to
do your thing.
So then if we jump back into Teams, you see here now, this is what we just created. And if you click on it to drill in, now you see, here's objective 1, become a Microsoft MVP. That has been sucked in from the goal list into this. And here's the second one, film videos with Suzy Vance.
Yay.
And then here's, I didn't have a 3, 4, or 5, so they just put NA in each of them. And then you see here now, we have also filled in the company values, because the data entry thing, last year what we had them do was, there was a link in this form that said, here's your goals, you need to copy paste. Because that's a horrible experience for the user. That's horrible. So everything is done for them. Just start filling in. It's pretty slick.
That would make you think it was okay to do this.
Yes. Yeah. It's just easy.
Yes.
Easy.
Easy.
And then if we jump over to boss evaluations, you see there's 2 here because I didn't delete the previous one, but this one, because these little tick marks are here. So that was just created. Okay. And it's ready to go. So it feeds in the company values. It already has the year and who the person is, and that's all done for you.
Who's your boss?
Who's my boss? Me. No, who's my boss? Sean is my boss. That's who's the boss.
Are you Sean's boss?
And I'm Sean's boss. Yes, of course. So, and then you see everything gets filled in, and you just start working and go away.
This is such a, as my father would say,
slick.
A slick system.
It's slick. It's very slick. And I cannot take all of the credit for the automation stuff.
Okay.
That is due to some very smart people on the internet that had talked about similar concepts of like being able to like get data from one place and put it in another.
Right.
And then me just attempting to figure it out for our application.
And you did.
And I did. And there are very smart people out there that are so smart that do this every day. And I am incredibly grateful.
And you are resourceful.
I have been told that. Yes, I have been told that. So this is how we used Teams, lists, the comment feature of lists, and Power Automate and email to do really a self-evaluation and a goal tracking system. No paper forms, no spreadsheets, no Word documents.
And totally accessible anytime.
Accessible and on the phone too. So if somebody wants to lay in bed and do their evaluation, all they do is open up the Lists app on their iPhone and they see the same thing. The other thing, just to make a mention of the thing about security with this.
Yes.
So by default, everything is filtered down is filtered by the current user that's sitting behind their computer. And it's locked out. The one possible risk for the resourceful person is that they will go in and change the view to say like all. So there's two views here in self-evaluations, boss evaluations. It's my, which obviously is mine or yours or anyone's.
Right.
And then there's all. And the all is for Sean and me to view.
Right.
And so that there are add-ons out there that will actually like block views from people not being able to access it.
So one employee shouldn't be able to look at the other employee's stuff.
So the one thing with this is that there's the possibility that someone could go to the all and then now they start reading. And there are provisions out there by third-party companies that can like lock that feature away, or you take that feature away, and then you hide the ones that show everything to everyone, and then you have like a backdoor for Sean and me that wouldn't be through Teams. It would be just through like the SharePoint like web page.
Okay.
So that's one thing. If someone's very concerned about security and the access of it, then you can either look for a third party that'll block out and take permissions away, or you can like do like a backdoor thing that nobody knows about, but like, the bosses or whatever. So that's one thing about that. Or you don't tell anyone that even exists.
Right.
And then you just say, oh, here you go. And then that's it. So, but again, there are resourceful people out there that be like, what's this? And, that's just what happens. So there are ways to get around that. But
that's good.
To make it easy for the user, to make it easy for the boss, to make it easy for everyone, this is what we came up with.
This is really great.
To make it just ease of use. Everything's in one place, in one channel, the tabs across, and that's it. Plus you get to do fun posts when you tag everybody to put these like nice announcements and stuff, and then everybody gets notified in Teams too. So you're never leaving Teams.
Awesome.
So that's our little thing to do we took an HR nightmare and turned it into less of a nightmare.
Yes.
So there we go.
Definitely less of a nightmare. Something that is usable, friendly, even if you have to do it.
Right. You're not gonna be so grudgingly, hopefully, you're not gonna be so grudgingly like, that's my evaluation, right? At least, and the other thing that you can do with this too is that you don't have to do it all at one time.
Right, of course not.
Because lists say
you have a whole 2-3 weeks to do it, and you could
do it in pieces and take your time, and because lists saves as you go, you could say, okay, I'm going to do goal 1 and 2 today, so I can really think about it,
or you wake up at night and you're like,
yes,
to add that.
You can just do it, and then you can keep adding and amending, and there you go.
And then on the 15th, that's it.
That's it. Then lock it down.
Awesome.
So that is a way to apply, 4 of the features of the platform for 5 going to $6 a month next month, but still for $5/$6 a month, you have almost. That is just, again,
that's worth it in itself.
Worth it and this just little bit I did that showed you today is again still like scratching the surface of things you can do, things you can automate, things you can make simple, and it's all out of the box. Like this is nothing custom or you had to like buy something else. It's just out of the box.
Joe, you are amazing.
Thanks. I'm me.
Yes, you are.
So I'm Joseph Markovich from JCMA.
And I'm Suzy Vance.
And it's time for you to fill out your evaluation.
Happy Tuesday.